There's a question I ask myself, which I think is totally reasonable and not dramatic at all, and that is, does the turmoil ever end? Do I ever get the chance to sit peacefully with myself, unburdened from incessant self-evaluation? Will it ever be enough to just be alive? I tell myself that's what I'm working for, that's what this is all for, and with the right calculations, I'll arrive at the person I'm meant to be, doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, and living as congruently with my soul as was ever possible. Eventually I have to just fall into it, and I'll know I'm there because I won't be saying things like this anymore. But the thing about that is, in all seasons of the 28 years of my life, I've always been saying things like this. You'd think I'd start to recognize it by now. The monotony, the uncanny familiarity, and I'm starting to flirt with the idea that accessing yourself is not something you do in theory. At some point, the research has to be realized in the field. At some point, I'm actually going to have to live in my body, but spending time inside myself reveals a lot of conflicts. My thoughts are erratic, and they detonate inside my skull, leaving me immobilized with confusion and anxiety. I don't think I've experienced my conscious in a way that wasn't volatile and confounding, and I've asked myself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? What am I having such a hard time with? Why can't I be a person? Everyone else is doing it, and it feels so involuntary, like this thing that is happening to me, and in my worst moments, it's the best I can do to just pace my room. And how something can feel involuntary and so present at the same time, I'm not sure. Like when I have a thought, when a thought comes to me, where is it coming from? It's coming from me and to me? Is there more than one of me inhabiting us? But if I can notice my thoughts, I can be okay. There's always a thought behind a thought, and it only takes me getting my grubby little hands on it to expose it, uncovering feelings that precede my choices and my thoughts. It's too easy to be convinced of something without really examining it. A kind of primary directive that occupies me. It takes deliberate pause to really know how I feel about something and why I'm having a thought. Or maybe what I'm describing is more like cause and effect, and brief but welcome moments of awareness of my own operations and patterns. Oh God, the lucidity of recognizing a pattern. I'm having this thought because of another imperceptible thought working quietly in the background. I feel a way, or have drawn a conclusion, or behave in a way at the instruction of a covert belief. These beliefs are sometimes hard to identify, and it's like they're running processes polluting my operating system. I think I'm full of these beliefs in different parts of my body. They've become so natural that I no longer think to question them. But it's only when I have the courage and the good sense to look them in the eye that I really feel like I know myself. I feel closer to myself. I feel like I see myself, and not just what I'm feeling or doing, but why, to the best of my ability. Anyway, I'm trying to pull myself away from the oppression of my own deeply worn mental pathways. Recognizing why I have a thought takes away some of its power over me, and sometimes I find myself following numbers of branches of lateral thought, each begetting the other, and it's an uncovering of truth. But I struggle to think in the present when I'm so concerned with if I'm doing the right thing. There's this fantasy I languish for of being set on a path where either side are barriers, preventing me from stepping off into the muddy edges of crippling doubt. That's the place where I'm confronted with choice and possibility, and I don't want to think about it. I just want to know who I am. I almost just want to be told, because deciding for myself, how can I know what the best choices are? By what metric do I define what is the best? Why am I the authority on this? I don't believe in myself. It would be easier if someone much cooler and smarter and better than me in every way could just tell me who I am and what to be. Get a load of this guy's inferiority complex. I seem to have come to an understanding that I haven't thought to question, that in every scenario, in everything I make and do, there is a best version of it. This is the most perfect form it can take, but it isn't just a matter of quality. There's a correctness to be achieved. There's a correct way for things to be, and it's unequivocal and by its nature unachievable. But for some reason, I set myself on attaining it. Or more so, I maintain an awareness of it that withholds me from ever really feeling satisfied with anything I do. Because for whatever I do or make or am, there's someone out there doing it the right way. This sense of imposing rightness that is as demanding as it is vague has been detrimental to my creative self. I've been told that what I'm describing is perfectionism, and I guess I've avoided aligning with that because I don't like the suggestion that what I do end up sharing or celebrating, I'm making the claim that it's perfect. I know that's not exactly what perfectionism means, but I also think it's a comical example of how even the term perfectionism isn't perfect for what I'm trying to describe. And something to remember still is that I really have believed that adhering to an acknowledgement of rightness and striving for it, even towards my own disappointment, I felt that that was the best thing I should be doing for myself. Ultimately, I'll be happier, surely, if I just am improved in every way. I'd be a better artist, a better creator. My life would have more purpose, more meaning. I'd be more successful. I'd be better in social situations. I could find a good partner. I'd have a one-bed flat. For someone so avoidant of living an insincere life, so apparently dedicated to honouring their commitment of finding satisfaction, I sure have turned out to be one depressed individual. And maybe I just am. Maybe I am just a sincerely unhappy person. But whatever the case, a suspicion is fermenting in me that the paradisiacal future of my mind that is absent of uncertainty and the strangers I live with, an iron deficiency, just doesn't exist. Okay, maybe one day I'll live in my own flat and eat more spinach, but something that will probably never be true is being certain, infallibly, of who I am and what I'm doing. And not just that, but I'll never feel what I believe I'm supposed to be feeling. It's an entirely illusory fiction of my mind, an ultimate and impenetrable positivity and certainty of self and rightness, a feeling that only requires you encounter it once after years of onerous deliberation and introspection. And after that encounter follows this kind of perfect consciousness that is not only indefectible, but effortless. It requires no maintenance. It's a fixed state. And once I'm there, I'll never have to look at myself again. There'll be no more convening with the board of directors on where to take my personality next. I just need to get there. I just need to reveal its secrets, and you can know that once I do, you will be hearing from me, and I will be trying to sell you an online course. Obviously, that's not achievable. I don't think anyone lives like that. The only constant is change. If there's anything I can be certain of, it's that I'm going to change, and I'm going to be uncertain about it. There really is no destination, at least not in the way that I have ascribed it. I feel that I kind of need to make peace with feeling bad about myself in kind of turning away from a definition of goodness and rightness, defecting from those standards. Maybe I will do things badly. Maybe I don't have much to contribute socially. Maybe I'm not the best person on the planet. There isn't some perfect version of myself in like an incorporeal state waiting for the right conditions to take form. There isn't even a better version of whatever I am right now, because this is the only moment that there is. And I do hope it goes without saying that I'm not encouraging myself to give up on my life or like bettering myself or doing anything. That's not the case. I'd like to be more present in the state I am now than projecting myself into a fantasized future only to return here and hate myself for it. Anyway, if you're here at the end of this video, we've got a thing going. I can feel it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. It means a lot to me. Your presence is significant to me in my life. It really is. And I would like to invite you to consider joining my Patreon, which I've just recently made. There's already some stuff up there. It's like personal writings and some poems and just really the kind of stuff that leads to these types of videos. So I think if you enjoy this, you would enjoy what's on my Patreon. So yeah, I'll leave a link for that in the description of this video, and you can find it on my socials and in my Linktree and stuff. That would be really neat. Hopefully I'll see you there. Yeah, again, thank you for being here. Okay, bye.